All right, so you're back with us for another deep dive, and today we're going to zero in on something I think a lot of you are interested in.
Yeah,
Chainlink.
absolutely.
Ticker symbol LINK.
Big one.
If you've been keeping tabs on the crypto markets at all, I mean, you've probably seen Chainlink kind of on a bit of a roller coaster ride.
For sure.
Significant surge earlier in 2024, and then kind of a pretty sharp dip more recently.
Yeah.
So for those of you who want to, get in on the action
Right.
and really understand, like, what is the story behind these markets?
What's driving it?
We're gonna break down exactly what's going on here,
Yeah.
and try to give you some insight as to why this is happening and what it could mean moving forward.
Exactly. And, we're diving into a fresh piece from the Motley Fool, published just yesterday, April 4th, 2025.
Oh, what?
Offers some really interesting perspective on Chainlink's core value.
Okay.
And, tackles the question many of you are probably asking, is this recent price drop, a buying opportunity?
Yeah. Is it time to get in? Is it time to wait?
Exactly. And we want to give you a clearer picture of why these price swings are happening and what they might mean for Chainlink's future trajectory.
Okay, so let's unpack this a little bit. Chainlink. Now, for anyone tuning in who maybe you're new to crypto,
Right.
Chainlink isn't like your typical digital cash. Like you think of Bitcoin or Ethereum or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's known as an oracle coin.
Yeah, that's right.
What's the deal with that?
So what's fascinating here is understanding Chainlink as vital infrastructure for the blockchain world.
Okay.
Think of it like a secure pipeline.
Okay.
On one end, you've got the vast world of real-time data. So
Okay.
everything from stock prices to weather patterns, even election results.
Wow.
And on the other, you have smart contracts.
Right.
Now, smart contracts, think of those as self-executing agreements written in code on a blockchain like Ethereum or Solana.
Okay.
By their nature, these contracts can't directly tap into that off-chain data.
Gotcha.
That's where Chainlink comes in. It acts as this reliable bridge, securely delivering the real-world information these smart contracts need to execute their terms.
So it's essentially this kind of decentralized data aggregation and delivery network,
Right.
ensuring that smart contracts have access to, reliable off-chain information.
Exactly.
Give us some concrete examples of the kind of data we're talking about here.
Sure.
It's not just crypto prices, right?
Not at all.
Okay.
While Chainlink does provide frequent near real-time updates on the pricing of cryptocurrencies against traditional currencies, their reach is much broader.
Okay.
The article highlights examples like live prices of precious metals, gold, silver, you name it.
Interesting.
Traditional currency exchange rates, like the constant fluctuations between the euro and the dollar,
Right.
and even macroeconomic indicators like inflation rates.
Okay.
Beyond that, they have a service called Smart Data, which delves into more specific and sometimes quite niche data points,
Okay.
crucial for certain crypto applications such as the actual reserves backing stablecoins.
Oh, wow. So that's really interesting. I never thought about it that way.
Yeah, and what makes this truly insightful is the potential for composability,
Okay.
because smart contracts across different blockchains can access this same reliable data.
Gotcha.
It opens up entirely new financial instruments and automated workflows that were previously impossible.
That's fascinating. Okay, so now that we understand kind of like how they're delivering this data, let's talk about how that data actually gets used by smart contracts in practice. Paint us a picture here, like a simple scenario.
Imagine a decentralized insurance application.
Yeah, okay.
A smart contract could be designed to automatically trigger a payout if, say, flight delays reach a certain threshold,
Interesting.
using verified flight data delivered by Chainlink,
I see.
or taking a cue from the article's example. Consider a more complex financial instrument that automatically rebalances your cryptocurrency portfolio.
Okay.
Based on a combination of factors, if the inflation rate drops below a specific percentage and a particular currency exchange rate hits a certain point,
Right.
this really showcases the potential for creating incredibly sophisticated and automated agreements that react to real-world events.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of amazing to think about what could potentially be done
Yeah.
with this technology.
And this is often facilitated through on-chain contracts that aggregate data from multiple Chainlink nodes to ensure reliability and prevent single points of failure,
Okay.
a crucial technical aspect for maintaining trust.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so now in any market, you've got players vying for position. Who else is operating in this Oracle space?
Right.
And how does Chainlink measure up against them?
So this raises an important question about the competitive landscape.
Right.
The article points out that Chainlink currently boasts a significant market capitalization,
Okay.
around $9.2 billion.
Okay.
When you look at the next largest Oracle-focused projects,
Right.
the difference is quite striking.
Interesting.
Bittensor TAO has a market cap of roughly $2 billion, and Puck Network PYTH is considerably smaller at around $528 million,
Wow.
based on CoinMarketCap data around the time the article was written.
So that really highlights Chainlink's current dominance, I guess, in this specific area.
Right.
But, the article does specifically mention Bittensor and Pith Network.
Yeah.
How do their approaches differ from Chainlink's? Are they
Yeah.
tackling the same needs?
So if we connect this to the bigger picture, we see that while they all fall under the umbrella of oracles,
Mm-hmm.
their core missions diverge.
Okay.
Pith Network's primary focus is on delivering very high-speed and low-latency cryptocurrency pricing data,
Okay.
which is particularly valuable for decentralized exchanges and high-frequency trading applications.
Okay.
Bittensor, on the other hand, is geared towards a fundamentally different area,
Gotcha.
providing a decentralized marketplace for artificial intelligence and machine learning models
Yep.
and the data that fuels them. This difference in focus means that while Pith might be ideal for applications needing ultra-fast price feeds,
Right.
they might not offer the diverse range of real-world data needed for more complex, decentralized finance, or DeFi,
DeFi.
which aims to recreate traditional financial services on the blockchain.
Okay.
These DeFi protocols often rely on things like weather data for insurance payouts or verified asset prices beyond just crypto.
That makes sense.
Chainlink's strength lies in its much wider scope of data sourcing and its established integrations across a broad spectrum of DeFi applications.
Okay, that clarifies why Chainlink is positioned as the leading provider for this more general-purpose, real-world beta service for DeFi. Okay. Now let's address the elephant in the room here.
Sure.
The recent price action.
Yeah.
The article notes that Chainlink's value doubled in the year leading up to December 2024, but then experienced a significant 43% drop by early April 2025.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a huge swing.
It's a big one.
What context does the article offer for this volatility?
So what's interesting here is the comparison drawn to Bitcoin's performance over the same period.
Okay.
Bitcoin also saw a substantial increase, 151%.
Okay.
But its subsequent pullback was much less pronounced, only around 19%.
Interesting.
The article points out that Chainlink is currently trading about 24% below its value from a year prior.
Okay.
This discrepancy suggests that perhaps the earlier rapid appreciation in Chainlink's price was indeed a bit overextended,
Okay.
or that there might be specific market dynamics at play affecting Chainlink more acutely than the broader market leader.
I see. So with this significant price correction, the central question for many,
Right.
and indeed the implicit question I think behind the Motley Fool article is this a buy the dip scenario?
Right.
What's the author's perspective on this?
The author of the Motley Fool piece offers a very direct insight sharing that he personally purchased Chainlink about 3 weeks before writing the article.
Wow. Okay.
And even though their investment was down roughly 5% at the time, including those pesky transaction fees,
Oh, yeah.
they maintain a positive long-term view.
Okay.
Their core thesis is that the current lower price does represent an attractive entry point for those interested in the foundational infrastructure of the crypto space.
So they're still bullish on it.
Yeah, they're seeing the long game here.
Okay. And a key element of their continued conviction seems to be this first mover advantage we touched on earlier.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on why this is considered such a significant advantage, especially in the blockchain realm?
Absolutely. So in the rapidly evolving landscape of decentralized finance, being the first to effectively address a critical need. In this case, providing reliable real-world data to smart contracts
Right.
carries substantial weight.
Okay.
Chainlink has already established a vast network of integrations and partnerships across numerous DeFi protocols and blockchain platforms.
Gotcha.
This widespread adoption creates a powerful network effect.
Okay.
Think of it like this. The more applications rely on Chainlink for data, the more valuable Chainlink becomes to the entire ecosystem, making it harder for new entrants to gain traction.
That makes sense.
While new competitors could certainly emerge in the future, Chainlink's established reputation for reliability, its extensive integrations, and the sheer number of developers already building with it create a significant barrier to entry for potential rivals.
Interesting. So it's like that old adage,
Yeah.
it's hard to unseat the king of the hill.
Yep.
Okay, looking ahead, the article also touches on the future potential for Chainlink.
Yes.
What are some of the key factors that could fuel further growth and increase demand for its services?
So the article highlights the anticipated continued expansion of decentralized finance applications as a primary driver.
Okay.
As more complex and sophisticated financial instruments and services are built on blockchain technology. Think decentralized lending platforms, prediction markets, and stablecoin protocols.
Right.
The fundamental need for reliable and diverse external data sources will only intensify.
That makes sense.
Furthermore, the increasing potential for large-scale automated cryptocurrency trading where algorithms and smart contracts execute trades based on real-time data feeds also represents a significant growth area for Chainlink's data delivery services.
I see.
Essentially, as the blockchain ecosystem matures and becomes more deeply integrated with real-world assets and processes,
Yeah.
the crucial role that Chainlink plays in bridging that gap becomes ever more vital.
Okay, so to synthesize all of this for you, our listener, we've taken a deep dive into Chainlink,
Right.
exploring its foundational role as the leading Oracle solution, providing essential real-world data to those self-executing agreements.
Yes.
Smart contracts on platforms like Ethereum and Solana. We've examined how it stands out in a competitive landscape, boasting a significant market share and a broader scope of data compared to its closest competitors.
Right.
We also delved into the recent significant price drop following a period of rapid growth in 2024. A dip that at least one analyst from the Motley Fool views as a potential buying opportunity, emphasizing Chainlink's first-mover advantage and the expected continued growth of decentralized finance.
Exactly.
And it's crucial to remember that this analysis stems from the Motley Fool article published in early April of 2025,
Right.
reflecting the author's personal investment perspective at that specific point in time.
Absolutely.
The cryptocurrency market is inherently dynamic,
Very much so.
and subject to rapid changes in past performance should never be taken as a guarantee of future results.
Right.
So as you process this information, here's a final thought to consider.
Okay.
Given Chainlink's unique position as this essential link between the tangible world and the rapidly evolving realm of decentralized finance, what other unforeseen applications might emerge in the years to come that could further solidify its importance within the broader digital economy?
Yeah.
What innovative ways might smart contracts leverage this continuous stream of real-world data in ways that we haven't even conceived of yet?
It's a really interesting question to consider.
It really is. It's definitely something to contemplate as this technology continues its evolution.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Of course.
Catch you next time.
See you then.